As part of our town hall on Facebook, we have a couple of other questions regarding more local issues. Now, Rich Myers, who is the mayor of Gulfport, asked, what are you doing to help cities and towns throughout Illinois deal with flooding? We witnessed catastrophic flooding, especially in central and southern Illinois during this last flooding season. I personally witnessed the blowing of the Key Levee that flooded Missouri properties. That was essential in saving towns like Cairo, Illinois. Over the long haul, what I think we need to do is make sure adequate resources available for FEMA so that when damages trigger that $16 million federal trigger, that the federal government can help out the state of Illinois as it did this year. More importantly, we're looking at new ways to improve the flood insurance program, to have more accurate maps, and to especially allow Illinois communities, when they have the resources, as many southern Illinois communities have developed, to fix levees and locks on their own, to be able to do that without much interference from bureaucrats in Washington. Now, Rob, from the Illinois 290 corridor, wrote to ask, how do you plan to address the infrastructure shortfall that America faces when compared to our competitors? And this is probably one of the most important issues we will deal with next year. We have seen the government is running out of money, and part of our danger here is transportation funding. Most of our highway funding comes from the trust fund, and it will have only about $90 billion over the next 5 years to support the nation's infrastructure. Needs total upwards of $200 billion. Now, some have proposed increasing the national gasoline tax. I oppose that. That's a very regressive tax. It would hurt the working poor in America almost more than any other tax, and I think it would help grind this fragile economy to a halt. Others may say we should attempt to borrow more money from China, and I would simply say that is tremendously off message, wrong policy, and hopefully the Congress is moving in a more fiscally responsible direction. So what do? If we can't raise gas taxes and we can't borrow any more money, are we going to see transportation resources go down significantly in the United States? And I would say no. And my inspiration from that is our own economic heritage. I'm worried that our citizens in the United States, and especially in Illinois, have forgotten their own economic heritage. In one of the depths of crisis for this country, our president, Abraham Lincoln, when he was borrowing money as much as he could to fund the expansion of the Union Army, also simultaneously launched the largest infrastructure development program in the history of the United States. The Transcontinental Railroad was largely funded through bonds guaranteed by the federal government, levied against lands and other benefits issued to the Central Pacific and Union Pacific railroads. With overwhelming amounts of money not coming from the federal government, we built a 2,000-mile railroad in just 6 years and started 7,000 American towns. Building on that, I am proposing legislation called the Lincoln Legacy Infrastructure Development Act that would unlock $100 billion in new public-private venture funds for new roads, airports, and railroads. My hope is that the United States can once again be the center of public-private partnership activity that we were during the building of the Transcontinental Railroad. We've seen this in small part work, for example, in Indiana with their toll road, and in Virginia. We've seen it overseas, for example, in British Columbia or in Australia, where 20% of all their new infrastructure is funded through public-private partnerships. And I want to work very closely with the leaders of our state, especially Mayor Emanuel, to unlock these public-private partnerships so that we do have updated roads, bridges, railroads, and airports to fund the transportation sector, which is the heart and soul of employment in the state of Illinois. With that, I'd like to thank everybody for asking questions. We will do this again. If you'd like to contact us, you can always find us online at www.kirk.senate.gov or call me direct at 312-886-3506. It is an honor to serve you and your family in the United States Senate. Thank you very much.